Okay, so it's about time. I have sold off a huge percentage of my inventory, and I've upgraded more. Just out of curiosity. I can't do the maximum upgrade on this shield because it requires me to have even higher constitution. But I've got the 85, 85, 85. I've got rank 3 armor and weapons. The shield itself is the war shield. It's only rank... I don't remember. Let me double check real quick. I might be able to level it up again, but I think I remember it being like... It costs like even higher stuff, and it's like frustrating. What was it?
But not all is beauty out
I got a little sidetracked with a few things.
Amongst the wonders lies danger. So remember, don't just carry a weapon.
Yeah, 90. So on top of costing like 4,500 more and more stuff, it also requires 90. So it's like it's just another hurdle to go through. So I'm like, we made it far enough. It's fine. Does it have a slot? I should double check. It does not. So this is seemingly the high-level Berserker shield as far as I can tell. It looks kind of bad. I figured I'd finish the costume, but really the shield design is fine. It's just the weird glowy thing looks really not good. I kind of wish that the splotch lined up with something. I think they were going for something where like maybe like the tree was supposed to glow, or the glow was supposed to be, maybe the glow was supposed to be behind the tree, or maybe it was supposed to follow the branches. As of right now, it's just a weird circular splotch of color that doesn't match up with any part of the shield, so it just looks unfinished, and it's on the metal part too, and I don't know why it's glowing, or what purpose it's supposed to serve, or what it's supposed to tell you about the shield itself. Like, I don't know what it is, but there it is, guys. Now I have a Berserker shield that isn't the crappy scrap one. Which, by the way, this shield looks all high-end and high-level and important and stuff. The rank 1 version has the same exact stats front to back as that crappy scrap shield I was using, which you would think was crap, but apparently that's the... I guess that's the outlaw equivalent of having a good shield. That weird turtle scrap shield thing. Other than that, I picked up a few healing potions. I should equip those. Let's see, mighty healing potion. Put that on top. Large healing potion. Put that on the bottom. That'll last me for a little while. Mana potions. The largest stack I have is this 25. So let's go with those ones. There we go. So I got my healing options there. I've got armor and weapon upgrades. Should be good to go. I mean, I'm pretty sure I've been ready to beat this game with my existing character as of like 30 episodes ago, but I more mean like I think I'm out of things to do in the progression system. Really weird being able to buy your own upgrades. Hey there.
If I'm watching your back and you're watching mine, then who's watching what's out there?
Alright, he's just being cute about it, I guess. I think we're good to go. I think we're good to go.
With everything that's
I think we're good to go.
How beautiful it really is.
Get that flyer ready to go. I will start the attack on Zakor now.
Attack? Right. So you're not just using this for transport?
No, I need the raider to take out a shield generator.
Right. You could have said that earlier.
Why? What's the problem?
You never said anything about weapon systems.
We said fully operational.
You said you wanted to fly it. I've not had time to repair the weapon systems on top of everything else.
Then why didn't you tell me that?
Then why didn't you tell me what you were planning? If I had known, I could have told you the weapons weren't... I've just about had time to get this thing flying again. It's a complex machine.
Attacking that generator from the air is the only way to take it out. I'll have to ram it.
That's suicide. How will you get out in time?
This is the only way in. So I will have to figure out how to escape when I'm there.
You are one crazy son of a bitch. You fuck this up, we're all dead. Are you sure you want to do this?
I'm not asking for volunteers. You stupid son of a bitch. Good luck, Ray. We're counting on you.
Well, it looks like some crazy-ass het did your flying stunt for you. That guy must have owed you big time.
Ray, you crazy bastard. I guess he felt guilty for getting me into this mess. Well, Ray, you've opened the way to the Ice Palace. I guess it's time for me to go deeper into Zakor.
I think the others are already waiting on you. Good luck. Go show the hybrid. I hope you get the answers you need. And try not to get killed. We'll all be here, hoping not to die.
God damn. So Ray goes up and kills himself in order to down the shield. They said he had to hit the vent. I didn't see a vent anywhere. He seemed to just slam into a solid wall and then completely fail to damage it. So it seemed like it honestly looked like he messed up. And I assume there's supposed to be a war happening, but I feel like there hasn't really been any sense that the war has started yet and anyone has actually started attacking yet, and yet there's like a bunch of explosions happening, but you can't see why the explosions are happening. Like, there was not a single dude there for either army or even a gun firing or like auto turrets. It was just random explosions happening everywhere for no reason. And I'm like, why then? What are the explosions blowing up if there's no guys there? They just like to blow up their field constantly? This is like the final confrontation. That it seems so far they're not really conveying that a war is happening, despite trying, kind of. Do you know Ray's gone?
I have to.
He doesn't even acknowledge that Ray just went on a suicide mission. So he's... Alright, so Tom makes no progress once you save him. He just sits there. Huh. Huh. Weird.
They say this sort of thing,
And I swear to God, we're gonna find out. We're gonna talk to Hybrid, and he's gonna explain that he's been putting a dampening field out on the world that makes people not explain vital information to each other, and that's gonna be the explanation for all the plot holes in this game. Because it's like, yeah, how did neither of you ever mention to each other that the thing was wrong? And also, that asshole even was like, it might be what? Nah, let's not mention it until I'm sure about it. He said that out loud to me, and my character didn't question at all what he might be saying that might not work about the ship, even though it's the crux of the entire plan. And it's like, how are neither of these people even mentioning that the weapon system is necessary? Like, this is some really basic shit to communicate with each other, kind of like the idea that maybe ELEX is alive is like a thing to mention right before you do an ELEX experiment. And I'm like, I'm losing my mind here, man. I'm losing my mind. These characters are all really stupid, and it's frustrating. Alright, well, let's do a big fight where I kill all the dudes. You're not my friend. Where are all my friends? They're all gone, right? Is there a location I'm supposed to go to start this fight? Is it just there? It must just be there, right? Like, I don't think I can have a companion right now. They removed the one from my party that was there, and they didn't seem to be around camp anymore, so... Are they all just gonna be here now? Shit, what's the... Oh yeah, the gate. Yeah, that's the gate. Okay. I can take him either way. Just gotta go shoot some more Owl Commanders in that war that... I don't know, I guess maybe they couldn't get to run correctly with all those enemies on screen when they were moving the ship, so they had to hide all of them. So they just they were hoping that a bunch of random explosions that were clearly not hitting anything would be like enough implication that a war is happening, even though I can't see any of the soldiers in it. But even then, you'd think that maybe they would go the approach I see in so many games, where you just show like a bunch of 2D stand-up, like cardboard cutouts of people in the distance. That is how you imply a crowd is there. Like what Mass Effect 3 did on the Citadel. You look at the crowds of people, and if you looked at them closely, they were clearly like little cardboard cutouts of people, because they couldn't do 3 full models for that many people at once. But even then, like, did he hit a vent? It looked like he just hit a solid wall. Ow. Rude. Where are you? Oh, there he is. They're hard to spot. Yummy. I think their general approach is just all high-level weapons for Berserker's Glow, period. So the bow glows, the shield glows, don't question it. Alright, that seems to be everyone. At least it looks like there might be some familiar people all hiding behind there. It's really funny to me that the game let me come here. There was I would have almost accepted like an invisible wall or like just an unstoppable force that repels you or something like that, just because like it's weird that I've been here and seen it empty. It was devoid of not only the army, but it was also devoid of any wildlife. It was, if I remember correctly, it was just flat out devoid of anything. And yet now we're supposed to believe like, oh yeah, this fortification and all those explosions, that happened because of this war, right? And not because that's just what the level always looks like. Wait, there was way more walls a second ago, weren't there? Was there only just like 2? Those aren't defensible. That's not a defensible location at all. Alright, why is no one fighting? Wow. A lot of trust here, huh? It would just take one moderate explosion to take out our entire side of this. Like, they're all spread out because they're not stupid. Why are we standing in a single clump? That's super risky.
Not now.
Okay, well, I need to figure out who to talk to. Is it you? How about you?
The feud between clerics and elves will soon be over.
There's more than one battle left in this war.
Yes, but each step takes us closer to where we need to be. We can't hesitate now. This is the only way we will be victorious. It will begin when Thorold gives the order.
The sound design in this game, I'm losing my mind. God damn it. Like, I get it, you want to have idle animations and idle sounds for characters, but like, much like that one cutscene that was ruined by having 5,000 monsters in it that were all growling at once, like, everyone's scratching their head and sniffing at the same time across like 50 models, so all you can hear is this like, it's like a remix, it's like a fucking like bass line practically for a song with how much it's playing in the background. It sounds intentional. It's super weird.
Alexander Tarek has sent most of his troops into battle. The Ice Palace is now vulnerable.
He underestimated us.
Indeed. But whatever our fortune, we're not in the Ice Palace yet. When Thorold gives the order to attack, we will finally see who will survive this.
Not now. I have things to consider.
Not now. You should deal with the things you have to do.
Not now. You should go and do the things you have to do.
Analyzing conversational parameters. Analysis complete. I have nothing to say.
It's good to know we don't have any final conversations to have before the big conflict of the entire game with any of my well-rounded and interesting party members. Alright, well, try not to die, I guess. There's Thorold. Anyone else?
There you are.
Oh.
We are ready. If you are ready, then we can leave immediately.
And so you are going to work with Nasty? Will you fight alongside the clerics?
It is the only way we stand a chance against the Alp defenses. They have realized that by now, as we have all realized that this all depends on you now. If you have anything to take care of before the attack, you must do it now. We stand ready for the order to attack.
Are you joking? Yeah, are you gonna fight alongside clerics? Jax, we're literally at the war right now. It's already happening. It's like, we can leave when you're ready. We're already here. We're clearly at the war right now. We're face to face with an army as a group. Are you suggesting I'm gonna wander off and do another 50 hours of quests down in Tavar right now? Like, what the Let's talk about my brother, have a chill conversation.
I met with Calyx.
And? Did you find what you were looking for?
No, but I now understand my brother's true nature.
Truth. It always brings its own burden.
I am ready. Let us commence the attack.
So be it. This is the moment of truth. Every man ready? Well then, attack!
So the clerics did come anyway, even though they said they couldn't come. A lot of people are dying everywhere. I'm just gonna keep shooting in general locations, really. Ow. 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 Rude. Joke's on you guys. I've got damage buffs. Alright, well they're not gonna last. Oh, that guy's not an enemy. We win yet? We won. Wow, that was like a 20-second fight. I don't need to loot anything. This game's already over. Well, now that was, yeah. The oh, is it not over? Oh, there's one random bird. The game's trying to keep up with. Look at the notifications. It's trying to keep up. It's still trying to load up. It's only at 4 out of 16 Alp soldiers. It's gonna take a while. Gotta catch all the way up to like, yeah, nope, 7 out of 12 robots. 5 out of 6 Alp soldiers. It's getting there. I wonder how much longer these notifications are gonna take than the entire fight did. I gotta know. Look at him go. Oh, we're at 7 out of 12. Wait, no, weren't we there before? Is it looping? Wait, it broke. It broke. Oh shit, that's actually a threat. Did you just lock onto Logan? Like he's an enemy? You did.
I'll show him.
It totally did lock onto Logan like he's a bad guy. Whoopsie. Oh shit. Oh shit. Everyone look. The outlaws, they're revolting. We better stop them. Oh no. How could the outlaws betray us in our time of need? Oh, he's just stunned. Are the other ones gonna die? Apparently Logan's death will not have far-reaching consequences because he can't die. But all of his army is getting wiped out. I was just curious why it had me lock onto him. It seems to think he's an enemy. It locked on. It doesn't lock on to anyone else. Like it just locked on to Logan. Oh, Olbert's also stunned. How many people on our team are all stunned right now? Whoa.
Watch that guy.
Oh, this game is such a shit show. It's such a shit show. It's fascinating. So Logan is going to get up over and over again forever and keep fighting his own dudes. I just got registered for a crime because I started. Hey, the notification's finished finally. Someone reported my crime apparently. Apparently everyone's on my side. They're all taking Logan out. But Logan can't die. He's too important to die, so he's gonna get back up over and over again and fight everybody else in the team for the rest of the scenario. Oh, that's fascinating. Is that are there any other leaders that are alive? These are all berserkers. Is Sestak here? There's Sestak.
The defensive line has been destroyed. Alexander Tarek has lost the battle, but it will take many years to heal the wounds that the hybrid dealt to our people.
You fought to the very end. I didn't expect you to do that.
There were many victims in this war. We have to start rebuilding now. That is our job, for you have another to take care of. The hybrid has lost the majority of his army, but he still lives, and he is ELEX. You have to stop him before it's too late.
I could use your help in the Ice Palace.
None of our people have been able to withstand the hybrid's control. He inflicts pain on all those who attempt to get close to him. You have broken free from his control. Perhaps you can stand against him. Good luck to you. We all need you to succeed. I am confident you will succeed.
Confidence. A very emotional quality for an alb.
Yes. We will have to adapt if we want to survive.
Is Logan back up yet? There's a dead out. So the outlaws are dead. They didn't get stunned. Hey Logan, where you at? That's an outlaw. Is Logan all the way over here? No, that was just the outlaw guy. Where'd Logan go? Wait, where? Oh, is that Logan? Are we still fighting?
Damn it, what's wrong with you? You almost missed all the fun here. Ah, it's cold as death here. I don't understand how the Albs have lasted so long in this place. Maybe the cold for so long is why the Alb defenses gave way. Maybe it was too cold even for that bunch of bastards.
The destruction of the Alb defenses was nothing to do with you, that's for sure.
No, it was just a gift the world has given to me. Well, that was a good show, but I'd better go before I freeze to death.
I guess he forgot, and he's over it now. Alright. Sure. Why not? Have a little food. Wood lice is the wrong thing to eat, but whatever. I don't think I'm gonna need a radiation defense. So he's just piecing out. He doesn't have a single surviving dude though, because of what happened. But the game can't deal with the idea of him being an enemy. I don't know why it was letting me lock onto him. That was weird.
The Albs lost the majority of their fighting strength, but the losses on our side have been grievous. We can't continue to wear down our forces. We will have to place all our focus on Ignadon and the Hort to protect them from our enemies. What about you?
My path continues to lead to the Ice Palace.
I was worried that you would feel that way. Well, remember, only those with strong faith will bring about real change.
I'm not sure my faith is strong enough for that.
You will find your path. Until then, you will be in my prayers.
You peacing out? Oh, yeah, he's out. They're not even gonna like maintain defenses. I like his guys pieced out before the conversation even finished. That's why they were walking away in the background. So everyone's just gonna abandon me, huh? No one's even gonna like stand guard here or anything. I just have to walk in on completely alone. Cleric. Separatist. So those two didn't go anywhere. Where's your leader? Oh, Olbert's up there, isn't he? Where's my guys? Kaya? Crony? Oh, are they just retreating back to there? Oh, so they're just pulling back a little bit then. Logan might even be somewhere where I can't see him. Falk? Hello? Allies? Loyal companions? They're just gone? They're not over there. They literally despawned. They're not... The game just doesn't care about the continuity of where they are at the moment, I guess. I don't think their corpses are around here. That'd be depressing.
That's it. The Alb's defenses have been destroyed. But our work is far from complete. You must take on the next task. You must inject mana into the hybrid. It's the only way he can be stopped. The fate of Magalan is on your shoulders. Go. Change the future.
Even you're not coming with me? Really? I thought at least he and Kaya would come with me. Because, like, it's time to do the whole, you know, changing the hybrid thing. Really? You are all of the leaders of the free world, and you're so fucking ineffectual and nonchalant about this thing. You're not even gonna see it through? You're just gonna trust this asshole? Like, I know he's done some shit, but god damn, you're just leaving. They're not even, like, they seem to be genuinely walking away. Are they fighting each other? Oh, they're fighting the bird again, aren't they? They're willing to fight that bird over and over again, but not like the actual hybrid. I'm so baffled by their behavior. What has happened? This is... They're just so... impotent. And they're the leaders of the world. And they like to think they're all hot shit and the other leaders are all the shitty ones. No, they all suck. They're all equally ineffectual pieces of shit. This is... What a weird ending. Okay. Well, it's me, one guy. Just gonna walk in completely alone, because Lord knows they don't have any more soldiers, obviously. We defeated... According to... For this to be reasonable, we have apparently, I don't know, killed every Alb that has ever existed. And now I'm going to just single-handedly fight the rest. Like, this only makes sense. Like, the only one that makes sense is the Separatists. The Separatists are like, if we go in there, they'll mind control us because we have chips in our heads or whatever. Sure, that's why the Separatists can't come. The rest of the people don't make any sense. You could say that maybe the clerics and the outlaws are too selfish, but this is Thorold's plan, and he's not going to bring the berserkers in? Really? And where are my companions? Why would they leave me now? In the ending, they're here. Canonically, they're here. They're just not with me. Oh, look, is that more Albs for me to fight? It's almost as if this whole thing is stupid. What's going on here? We gonna have a story? What? Sestak, you just said that you can't go in because they... You just said you can't go any further because they'll mind control you, and now you're further.
The survival of our people matters above all else.
What? What is okay. What a weird random mess where just nonsense happens every minute. None of this flows. None of this feels right. Is there people patrolling inside? Are those combat robots? Those are combat robots, aren't they? I probably have to fight them. No. We're not gonna... Okay, we're chill. But they didn't know that, right? Like, they didn't know that all the combat robots would let me in. This is a deadly force. There's like 10 dudes in here that would, like, obliterate me. Or they have the chance to, at least. Did they all read the script and know that I was gonna have no threats ahead of me, somehow?
Jax! You have betrayed your comrades. And it seems even now, you have not returned to serve the directive.
My own kind betrayed me.
You truly are misguided.
No, I have learned the truth. The choices the Albs have made will destroy them. You must change the destiny of our people.
Our destiny is set.
You say our, but you're talking about the Hybrid's plans.
Our people pledged our destiny to the Hybrid. We were lost, and he gave us purpose. The directive will bring all of us to the next stage of evolution. The free people will be left behind as we ascend to the next level. ELEX is evolution, and we are the people who shall make that leap.
You are nothing but a slave of the Hybrid.
Spoken like one of the free people. You have lost your way, Jax. Our people committed ourselves to this cause. You cannot expect us to step back. Now we are on the edge of achieving all that we have fought for. The Hybrid will soon complete his work, and our people will seize the rewards promised to us.
I was betrayed by someone here in the Ice Palace.
The directive does not allow for betrayal.
The attack on my raider, my execution. It was all planned before I left the Ice Palace. Now, you will tell me why.
You blame your failures on others. Even your own father recognized that weakness in you. He feared that you were not ready for the role you had. That you would bring only danger to your people.
Wardeck said that?
Wardeck was ever a faithful servant of the Hybrid. He would not let family bonds undermine his commitment to the Hybrid and the directive. He was shamed by your weakness, and his shame at your failures that drove him from the Ice Palace. You destroyed his future, and left him with the choice of suicide, or exile with the Separatists. Since then, it is clear to me that he has given up ELEX, and fallen into the madness of emotions.
This is guesswork.
It is something I should have seen earlier. Before he left, he called you a bastard. Perhaps he was succumbing to emotion even then.
Who benefited from my execution?
I ordered your personal effects disposed of shortly after your crash. Your father took them. Calyx took the role of Alexeter. A role that should have been your destiny if you hadn't failed. But that is irrelevant. The worthy are promoted when the weak fall.
We will see who's weak, Tarek. I will learn the truth when I speak to the Hybrid.
You think the Hybrid will speak to you? You betrayed the directive. You brought our enemies to our gates. He will never allow you an audience.
He has no choice.
The shot to your head may not have killed you, but it has obviously damaged your brain. You lost the focus and strength that are the gifts of the Alps.
I no longer follow the directive. I am no slave to the hybrid.
If you think you can face the hybrid and live, you are mistaken. Death will prove you wrong. The strong will prevail. The Alps will evolve. That is Magalan's future.
Why aren't you attacking me? The directive dictates you kill me. The directive dictates that you kill me. I'm surrounded by combat robots. You apparently don't think that the hybrid will talk to me? I thought the whole reason all these guys were so passive was because the hybrid has like been like, no, let him pass. Like this is like a confrontation scene that's supposed to happen. That guy's moonwalking over there. So I assume that clearly this is like, oh, the hybrid's letting me in on purpose and we're gonna have a revelation moment. But no, he's just like directive, and he has no indication that's the case. And so like, why isn't he killing me? He keeps talking about how I should like what is happening? What in the world? War Deck's recordings, they're all up here. Did you do a nasty war deck? Were you the one who planned my death? Because that seems like the most likely thing. Especially if the revelation is going to be that somebody who's still alive planned my death, because we're running out of characters. As far as Tardek himself, I don't know if I'm supposed to recognize him or not. I don't know. Every Alb is a bald guy that looks and sounds the same, so I don't know if I'm supposed to recognize him specifically. All I know is I'm going to fuck up this robot. No one's cleaning this place anymore.
You are here.
It's a revelation time. They gave me a waypoint here like they expect me to leave and come back, which is weird in its own right. Can you imagine how weird most conversations would be out in the open world about the state of the world? If like, because I assume that none of them acknowledge that we're in the middle of the war against the Albs and taking them down. So like, so many conversations wouldn't make sense now. Yet there's a waypoint as if they expect me to leave and come back. All right. Well, this is a hallway. Oh, that's not in English.
I see you, Jax.
What? Wait, what? The subtitle said something completely. What did it say? It did not say I see you, Jax, did it? It looked like way too many words for that. Commander's spoon. He just has a collection of nuggets. Upsurge.
Despite the expectations of some, my sons have grown to become exceptionally strong. Whether this is the warrior gene or the fighting spirit of the berserkers, I do not know. But if this becomes widely known, I will have no way back. My fate will be sealed. If it is their berserker heritage, that isn't helping in their struggle to keep their will. It is clear to me that I have lost both of them to the hybrid. The hybrid's control of them is complete, and they will soon take my place. But what if their past is discovered? No impure can join the chosen. Their impurity may lead to my execution if it is discovered. Tarek is beginning to grow suspicious. He will use this to destroy me. Now only the death of my sons can save me. I just learned that Jax is to be sent in search of Thorold the Pilgrim. Jax will be more vulnerable once he is outside the Ice Palace. If the hybrid is to be stopped, then it is time to act. I have asked Zardon to come to the meeting point. He will ensure that things are taken care of from there. Everything will have to move quickly now if I am not to miss this chance to stop him. Jax is alive. I have heard many reports that confirm this. It is more than just rumor. Tarek must not have heard this news, or he would have acted against me. Calyx must have failed his mission to execute his brother. But he remains the best option I have to eliminate Jax before he can return to the hybrid. I will have to bring them together so that Calyx can finish his task. With luck, neither of them will return, and I will be free from the past. My plan failed. Jax cannot be found. But all the reports suggest Jax is now fighting alongside the Free People. He has acted against the directive, against Zakor. I will have to leave the Ice Palace and find him before Tarek learns of his treason. Jax's defection will be my death, one way or another. The exile and the Separatists are now my only chance.
So, Wardick worked with Zardom to sabotage my mission. He sent my own brother Calyx to kill me, and all to save his own position at the Ice Palace. The man who claims to be my father wanted me dead, and instead, he was forced from the Ice Palace himself. Now we will see which of us death finds first.
There seems to be a lot of like equilibrium going on where like they're just really struggling to get anybody to actually be as emotionless as they're supposed to be, because even the father has just like this completely insane, nonsensical, self-contradictory behavior that's all emotional and fearful and prideful and all these other things that like don't make sense. And yet he's been having emotion seemingly for decades then, right? How do you keep this place together if you clearly keep failing at actually getting people to be in the emotional state that you desire them to be in, which is the lack thereof? Seems like
Must have many questions.
It seems to me that the hybrid's actually really bad at controlling people. They also don't have like a registration system. Like surely they must have some sort of population control system, right? So like if they say that everyone has to be a pure alb, right? So that means that they must know where albs come from. They probably have like a system for registering each individual alb and like when they were born or converted or whatever the hell and when that happened, right? How did he get 2 like fake albs into the system as children and like not have that happen seamlessly? I feel like there's entire chunks of this that aren't explained as much as they really should be, because the logistics behind this story even happening in the first place is something I don't understand.
Come to me. We have much to discuss.
Charles Dawkins.
How did you type Dr. Charles Dawkins into a code pad that was a bunch of numbers? Did you have to do it like where you have to press like 1 once for A and twice for B and 3 times for C or something? This looks like it's going to be a boss fight chamber.
So, you are here. I have been awaiting your arrival.
If you wanted to see me, you shouldn't have allowed my execution.
You are speaking with emotion, not logic.
The hybrid sees all, so did you order my death, or just allow it? Was it my past that condemned me?
The past is irrelevant. Only the future holds any importance.
If my past is irrelevant, why did you put a chip in my head to control my thoughts?
The chip improves efficiency. If the chip hadn't been damaged, you would not be asking this question. You would know that true understanding is only possible through me. Join the Chosen, and you will know the meaning of our work.
The same promise you have made to the Alps since you took control. I came here for answers, not more empty promises.
More emotion. Your personal quest is meaningless. If you think your actions now have consequence, you are mistaken. Your arrival here is proof that you are closer to the next step in evolution than any of your kind. But there are things you are yet to understand.
If you wanted to see me, you shouldn't have ordered my execution. You are speaking with emotion, not logic. No, that's really logical, actually. That was a really logical statement. You can't just say that someone's emotional and not logical at random. It has to actually mean something.
My kind. I'm not the person I was. I am no longer your slave.
You will always be an alb. All you have accomplished must have proved to you that no individual can accomplish things alone. True strength lies in the collective consciousness. What the free people think is irrelevant. But you, Jax, you must understand the truth. The comet that destroyed Magalan's civilization did not arrive by chance. It was sent to begin the changes to our world, to prepare it for those who follow. There is nothing we can do to stop this. We can only be ready for their arrival. That is the truth I have guarded, and I have been preparing our world for this day.
Who is coming?
Those who will inherit our world. The further I evolve, the more I can hear their voices. First, as whispers. Now, as minds I can commune with.
Can we stop them?
They can divert comets and send them across vast distances. Their power is well beyond our own.
If you really know the future, then tell me what will happen.
The world, as you know it, will not exist in a few years. All life that remains will be forced to obey those who come to us now. They will obey, or they will cease to exist. The world must be changed before they arrive. ELEX will see to that. But we must prepare people and gather the ELEX that will make the changes that must come.
If individuals aren't important, then why do we need you?
My destiny was set the day the comet struck our planet. ELEX transformed me. It was an accident of fate, no plan of those who follow. But it has made me their emissary. You think you fight to save our world, but it is me, and me alone, who can do that. You have accomplished much, Jax, but your work is worse than futile. You think of yourself as a savior, but if we stand against these beings, we will all perish. Now, at least the chosen will survive.
You don't expect me to believe all of this.
I foresaw the day the comet would strike our world. I was there when it hit. All my words, all my warnings, all were ignored. The world refused to listen until it was too late. That day, the ELEX changed me. I was reborn, evolved. I failed to save us then. I will not fail again. The free people cannot be allowed to stand in our way. Their infighting had long stopped them from successfully interfering with our plans. All the ELEX on Magalan shall be required if we are to stand against the coming threat. You once followed my word without question.
It is a loss to us all that my influence ended with your brother's botched attempt to kill you. But now, you know the truth, and you can complete our vision together.
Why not work with the Free People to stop these invaders? Maybe if we fight on the same side, we can defeat these beings together.
The Free People are using ELEX and their technology, their world hearts, and their magic. They are blind to its true purpose. ELEX was sent here to change our planet in preparation for those who follow. Nothing can be allowed to stop that change. The Free People understand nothing but their own personal vengeances. That is why the Alms live without emotion. That is why the Alms have succeeded.
Imagine what they could achieve if you worked with them.
They have no interest in peace. They crave only their personal victories. Hate, emotion, and greed drives their conflict, and it will be their end.
Is there no one amongst the Free People who could join the Chosen?
Thorald, the Pilgrim, was the closest to defeating me. His powers would be helpful to us, but no, his emotions and self-doubt meant he needed another mage. That was his downfall. He is too emotional as well. The mage's connection to ELEX was so strong that Thorald lost control of her and the ELEX. My future and that of Magalan was saved by their weakness.
There was a they made a typo in the subtitles, or they edited them or something, so then they replaced the next one with, instead of that, they replaced it with as well, but they accidentally replaced the next line of dialogue instead, so it just changed from to as well as he went on to say his next thing instead.
Your only interest is your own survival.
My vision is the only one way to save Magalan. The Chosen will evolve to serve those who follow. All ELEX must serve my purpose. All people must serve me.
I didn't come here to let you rule this world. Your time is over. My emotions don't cloud my mind. They have made me realize things about the world I could not have seen before. I did not come all this way to die at your hands. I came here to take back control of my world. Your plans were wrong then. They are wrong now. You are not the superior being you think you are.
My past is meaningless. It holds no fear. Your attempt to use it only proves that you cling to the irrelevant. Die now, or die at the hands of those that follow. Your death will be meaningless. Only my survival matters now.
No deactivation animation, it just disappears. So do you have like a dedicated button for turning on the light that's inside your helmet? Because it was off a moment ago. Why did it turn on all of a sudden? Ow. Where's all my friends? Why aren't any of my friends helping me in this game? What's the point of them if they won't help me now? Yeah. What can I roll? What? Let me roll. Weird. I'll see you guys, huh? Whoop. Oh, it hit me anyway. Dang it. Okay. I take it they're just gonna keep coming. Faked you out. Woohoo. If all that mattered was the survival, why didn't you just keep the bubble up and attack me with infinite robots?
Of all the futures I had seen, this was not amongst them, despite all of my preparation and all the ELEX. You have shown yourself stronger than all of that.
So, will you submit, or will you die?
You have defeated me, but you are not strong enough to fight the beings coming to rule our world. If I die, then so does Magalan.
You cannot be allowed to complete your plan. You will work with the Free People. Your insight will help us to defeat these invaders.
The Free People are not strong enough to survive.
Your prediction about me was wrong. You cannot predict what the future holds. We will control our own future. Once the mana takes effect, you will see this.
You know nothing of the future. I see all, and I tell you that you cannot fight them.
We will see to that.
So much suffering. An ocean of blood gushes over the land. Lives, potential. Drown in it.
You can see it all now. That destruction was all your work.
Then you have no choice. You must destroy me. This suffering cannot continue.
Remember when you were human? Before the comet hit, before the ELEX changed you. Your name was Dr. Adam Charles Dawkins. Your plan was to save only yourself, but you have changed. You are realizing that the world must be saved. You can become a force for good.
I can't. It is too late. People can never trust me.
Then I will go to them. I will convince them your abilities are key to the future for all the people of Magalan. I will tell them your knowledge is the only way to stop this enemy.
Okay. Not a very decision-heavy ending so far. Turns out Jax has a very specific plan of how this game is going to end. I feel like the story was trying to imply that this guy was amassing huge amounts of ELEX, and that's what he saw as being power, and that the big surprise is that I, the person who's not hoarding and ingesting massive amounts of ELEX, is the one who actually could defeat him, so therefore his idea is wrong. But I defeated him by amassing huge quantities of ELEX so I could have insane stats and mega weapons and stuff like that. Like that depended entirely on me having huge amounts of ELEX. The amount of experience, attribute points you get from ELEX massively outranks the amount you get from actually leveling up in this game. Therefore, I defeated him by doing the same thing he was doing. I just didn't need a giant... Except he needed a giant mega military crazy complex to do that, whereas I was just one dude wandering around adventuring alone. And yet I was able to get more than him somehow? And so I'm a mega badass, I guess. Huh.
Those who would be the new lords of this world will arrive soon. It is your task to prepare the people of Magalan for their arrival.
So, how does the end of that boss fight work anyway? He's a robot man, and he's supposed to be purely logical. And he says that all that matters is his survival, and he has to win. And yet, he gave up? Like, that's what he gave up. I didn't defeat him. He clearly was able to just get back up like it was no big deal, so he clearly could just keep fighting. But he just gave up. And so I win because he gave up. This completely unemotional, logical person has just surrendered instead of fighting, even though he can still fight to win. I was like, I don't get why he gave up. It's like he's clearly fully operational. He's having no trouble just standing there. They didn't. I guess just the developers didn't make like a version of him that's like all battered and destroyed, so it doesn't sell the idea correctly. Now I need to tell the people of oh my god. I need to tell a lot of people apparently. William? I have to convince William that this is the way to go? Reinhold? Oh, this is weird. Okay, I'm gonna... Oh, I can't teleport.
Magalan, a world reshaped by the comet. A civilization lost in fire and ash. The hybrid spoke of his plan to prepare the world for what is to come. To make us understand the changes that ELEX is making to our world. But after all the years of his secrecy, the blood that has been spilled to gather ELEX to feed his powers. Who will listen to his warning? There is power in ELEX. It has changed every living thing on Magalan. The creatures that made it, that reforged our world from out amongst the stars, are coming to claim their creation. Will that mean an end to all that is here? Or will it be a gateway to evolution? It is now my task to prepare for that day. To decide the future of Magalan. The hybrid's era is gone. Now, all the factions must decide. I have chosen my destiny. Now they must choose theirs.
Oh, credits. So clearly there's like an epilogue, so I guess this will be the ending / finale episode, and the next episode we'll do like some kind of follow-up epilogue thing where I go do a farewell tour, I guess, to talk to everybody one last time. What a weird game. Man. It really is a mess. I'm trying to look at the ending and think about what to think about, like what state the ending was in. It's like I think that at some point in development, I think they wanted to do like a Dragon Age Origins thing, right? Because if those that don't know, in Dragon Age Origins, you're gearing up for a big bad fight against the Archdemon, I think, or Archdragon or something like that. And so you go to a bunch of different locations in a non-linear fashion. There's all these different factions and races around the map, and you need to try to get them to help you in the big final confrontation. And in many of those locations, there are usually maybe 2 different factions, and one of those different factions usually is the one you side with, because like oftentimes those 2 factions are in conflict with each other, and you get one of them to side with you by helping them against the other one, and then they'll help you against the big final bad boss fight at the end of the game. And then you have this customized group of different allies that assist you at the end for a variety of different reasons, and then you do your big final fight with whatever party members you've accumulated. You assign them to different parts of the conflict, and it's a pretty decent ending for RPGs, which generally struggle with endings a lot. Instead, this game, a bunch of dudes just show up at the end, and then the ending just happens, and it's like confusing, because like I'm not like an ally of the of the Outlaws in particular. We're not best buds. I didn't bond with Logan, and yet there's Logan just like the rest of them. It's like some of those people I actually did stuff for. One of them was a faction I was actually a member of the group of, and a high-ranking one at that. But everyone showed up regardless, and it didn't seem to matter, and it didn't feel like I earned them being there. And the game, I feel like the game just has so much promise. It sets up this really cool premise of these 3 factions that are all based on the 3 genres of Western RPGs that are most common and popular, plus an antagonistic force. And it's like, all right, let's get this mashup going on. I can't wait to have all these interesting scenes where characters from basically different universes interact with each other, and maybe there's some comedy, or maybe there's just some interesting friction between their personalities. But that doesn't happen because, first of all, nobody interacts with anybody else in this game, really, for pretty much the entire game. It's just Jax talking to people one-on-one in pretty much every scene. So you never have these elements mixing with each other in any interesting ways, which seems like it was the whole point. But then you also I didn't have to get the factions to get along. Like, it's not like I really hate Fallout 4 for a lot of reasons, but at least Fallout 4's climax deals with like the different factions butting heads in various ways, and which some of them can survive together, and some of them have to wipe each other out, and there's a bunch of different variables, and you side with somebody and you reap the benefits and rewards and consequences of your choices. In this game, the 3 factions didn't matter. Which team you joined didn't matter. It had no impact on the story. No one even acknowledges it ever again, aside from your party members being like, "Huh, you joined that team, huh? Whatever." And then like one throwaway line, which is up there with like BioWare games being like, "You are an elf," and that's it. Like, the factions didn't matter. You didn't have to resolve conflicts between them. There was like, at one point I thought there was the promise that one of them might have a nuclear weapon, which might have an actual threat that one of the factions could get wiped out entirely. And that might even explain why in the story the Pilgrim is not in Edan, and he's not with the other Berserkers, but instead is separate. Because what if Edan got wiped out by the Outlaws? Then, like, maybe they even had that planned at one point, because he's so weirdly isolated from the rest of the game that maybe they're opening it up for the idea that some factions could be wiped out entirely, and therefore he could potentially be the character that could push the story forward because he's not at any of the faction locations. Maybe. In fact, the fact that the way that he's so important to the story kind of points towards that might be the case, especially since his plan kind of mostly fails for the most part. I don't know. In general, the Berserkers are just given the job of being the most important faction de facto. Like, the Pilgrims from them, the solution at the end of the game is mana, which only they'd make. Like, they also were the most well-developed zone. With like, they had the this game got worse every hour. Damn it. It had good promise at the beginning. The premise was cool, and the Berserker area was generally well done. I liked the complicated way that you have to appease the different groups within them in order to move forward within their faction, which admittedly I only saw because I joined them. But then there was also, even before that, there was all these cool quests where you had multiple branching choices you could make, and they would help or hurt your standing with whether or not you'd be able to join the Berserkers in the first place. And so you could actually make decisions that were for a variety of different reasons. Whereas once you got to the cleric and outlaw parts of the game, you kind of didn't have decisions during most quests. You just had to do the quest, period. And once you were in the quest, you either did it the way they wanted you to, or you had to abandon the quest by walking away and just never looking at it again, because you couldn't act against what the people wanted you to do, especially with people like a rat, which was so infuriating. Like, the Berserker place was just, it felt like the Berserker place was finished in a way that the rest of the game wasn't, basically. And that's the general sense I get from this game, is it feels like it just wasn't finished. And I don't know why. They have government grants, so maybe they ran out of money. Maybe they hurt themselves by making such a big world, because the world's like way too big. Like, it doesn't really use all that open space effectively. It's just there to, the only thing it really does is sell the distances a little bit by having a bunch of open space between each capital, so they're not like across the street from each other. I did that big Abessa quest line, and it seemed like it was going to be important, and it never came up again. It's like, oh cool, you know, Abessa. Like, I'm expecting like, oh yeah, did you side with the wood elves, or did you side with the werewolves? Ooh, now the werewolves are here helping you against the archdemon fight. It's like, Abessa never is mentioned ever again. It's like, why did I do that? It's just another. That's the problem with the majority of this playthrough, is that it was me doing random quests in the open world, and they pretty much all just dead end somewhere. They don't like affect your they don't seem to like affect your reputation meters with individual factions or anything, or like have any implications about later stuff. Even stuff that seems big like Abessa just never comes up again. It's just an isolated bubble. Pun, pun, pun. I'm just so confused by this ending in general. It just, yeah, it feels like nothing really mattered necessarily. Like, maybe there was some way to make some guy not show up at the end or something, maybe. And like, it was really weird not having any sort of final. There was no climactic scene. Like, BioWare is usually really good about having like the squad, like on top of having pretty decent character development in a lot of their games, they're usually really good at having like a scene before the final battle where your group comes together and like maybe you reminisce on how far they've come, or you have some character moments just to be, you know, get together with these people and you know, final farewell, or steeling themselves for the conflict to come. And instead, like, they all just teleport there, and the moment the fight was over, they teleported away. And while we were there, they wouldn't talk to me. They're like, not now. But that's the last time you see them before the credits roll. And they're the characters that you recruited as all of your companions in the game. That's how little they seem to matter. Is they just disappear. I'm just so confused by the state of this. I don't know. I just get the feeling that maybe the final state wasn't what they wanted either. This feels Andromeda-y a little bit. Like it might just be not. They just had to ship it at some point or something. There is that question that's always in the back of the head, like, because I kind of posed at the beginning, like, how does this compare to Andromeda? Because that's the last Western RPG I played, and it hurt. Complicated answer. I'd say this game's definitely better than Technomancer and Bound by Flame, and the games by Cyanide Spiders and stuff like those.
Okay.
Were such a mess. Okay. That's his response to coming back in. The question of what, but like the floating question of like, is this game better or worse than Andromeda? And believe it or not, despite the long rant I just did, I'm inclined to say that it's better than Andromeda. I know, right? I don't know. Andromeda just... I don't even know. Like, it's hard to think of perks for Andromeda. Andromeda has a little bit more AAA polish. And, it had a little thing where, like... The main thing for Andromeda was probably that the combat was, like, smooth feeling, and it felt good, generally. So it's like, oh, look at this combat in Mass Effect Andromeda, like... That's the only thing people praise for it, even if they're trying to talk shit about the game. I don't think the combat's good enough. It's like, it feels kind of smooth, but you fight like 4 enemies the entire game, and you have no tactical options and no options and stuff like that. It's like, this game feels like garbage to play. The combat's terrible, but you have so many different, like, I have all these different trinkets and tools and magic spells, and I have a few options here and there. But more so than the combat, I think that the world and story is kind of just generally better in this game, as much as I don't think it's necessarily good. Mass Effect barely sets something up at the beginning, and like, I should not say Mass Effect because that implies the original trilogy, which I love. And Andromeda has the weakest premise ever, then it massively undercuts its own premise. At least this game, you do get to meet the different factions and potentially join them, and stuff like that happens. Like, you don't necessarily have the interpersonal, like, you don't have like the conflicts between the different factions the way that I would hope from at least a Fallout 4 level quality of climax, but the factions exist, and you get to join one, and you get to meet the different factions, and they fulfill that stuff generally, and that stuff's okay. Whereas Andromeda, you're not really a pathfinder, and you don't really do any of the things that they say you're going to do in the game. First contact never happens in that game. You're not really an explorer, because everywhere you go, people have already been, and everything just sucks the entire way through the entire game until the ending happens, where some weak revelations happen about things that you can't possibly care about because they've never been developed and nothing matters. Meanwhile, you play like 60 hours of fetch quests and the most boring story progressions, and it's just like, it's infuriating. Whereas at least in this game, there's personality to each location, and stuff's happening, and it's interesting to get into each faction and see like what makes them tick, and what are their hypocrisies, and what they care about, and each quest is playing off of the core story structure of that particular faction's laws and rules and way of doing things. And it doesn't always make sense, and there's a bunch of problems, but it at least fucking tries. Like, this game is at least engaging and interesting, even if you're actively having problems along the way. Whereas I can't stress enough how aggressively boring Andromeda is the entire way through. And it's boring to me, a Mass Effect fan that loves the original trilogy so much. So it's like, for that reason, like, I gotta say this game's probably better. Like, you guys heard this from the beginning of this playthrough, like, I just felt, from episode 1 practically, I'm like, this game is really questionable, and yet I'm compelled to keep going. Whereas every time I sat down to play more Andromeda, I'm like, god damn it, this game's still not over. Whereas in this game, I kept feeling compelled to see what happens next, so like, it's interesting, even if it's interesting in the pull your hair out, like, B-movie plot sort of way, where things are a mess and a lot of things fall apart. Like, at least it's broken in compelling ways, and also get some stuff right in compelling ways, whereas like Andromeda is broken in just boring, lazy ways and it just feels like it just feels like somebody with a great deal of power over that game didn't care about it, and so we got something that is really hard to care about, because it feels like the people working on it didn't care about it. And I'm sure that people care about all these games, because I'm sure there's passionate people on every project, and they just get stuck on a bad team with bad management, and EA fucks it up or something. But goddamn, I would rather play this entire game again than touch Andromeda again, that's for sure. And that's not a spiteful exaggeration, that's just been the reality. But boy, do I wish the combat in this game was better, and boy, do I wish the story had some sort of cohesive structure to it, and that the factions' relationships with each other meant more, because it needs to do better with its basic premise, and its failure to do so kind of just drops the ball on the whole project. I'm curious to see what their other games are like, but this is not a good starting point for this company necessarily. It's kind of a mess, and they're clearly setting up a trilogy again. Risen was a trilogy, and their previous one was it Gothic or something else was also a trilogy. And so I guess they're setting up the idea of like, now aliens are going to come and attack us next, so whatever, and so the remnants of Magalan have to face off against them. I guess we'll see if they make a sequel. I'll probably play it, I guess. It could be good. I hope it's better. God, I hope it's better. Anyway, this has been ELEX, guys. I'll come back for one more episode to talk to all the NPCs, but this is my... I figured I'd do my closing thoughts at the actual ending and credits. This has been a doozy. Alright. Let's get outside. It's very stormy here. Here's that poor... This poor guy. Rest now. I'm so sorry that these emotionless shitheads had you vacuuming snow for 100 years. Whatever, however the hell that works. See you later.